Hey familia, Igni here, welcome back to Custom Card Weekly, where we take a look at some of the cards you designed after I challenged you, and last time around I challenged you all to redesign some legendary cards that were underplayed. Let's see what you come up with. First up we have Leonora here with a couple of submissions, first being a Beast Dominator, and this new effect gives Beast Dominator kind of a cannon effect, while still retaining the flavor of it dealing damage to you, with the whole whip sadism thing. That really makes this not a children's card game. Of course, the old effect had that same kind of flavor, but it was much worse. This time, it's now a cannon, Deal damage to yourself, or to their enemy follower, or their face. Fitting redo, I think, makes the card a lot better. He's also redesigned Rose Queen here. Now it's an 8.55 with Ward that transforms each card that costs 1 or less into your hand into the spell Thornburst. And has a clash of the Wood of Brambles clash effect here. And also redesigning Thornburst here to draw a card if 2 other cards are played this turn. Of course, the original Thornburst only dealt 3 damage to an enemy without this additional effect. And the original Rose Queen here didn't have Ward and only transformed fairies. This is interesting though, because redesigning Thornburst makes it so that cards like Fairy Princess, not Fairy Princess, what's her name? Flower Princess for Forestcraft also gets affected. That has some implications there. But that card's also underplayed, so Here's one from Kira. I know that Kira's favorite card is Dragon Song Flute, so I'm glad that she entered here. Fanfare, after an allied follower that originally costs 3 play points or less comes into play, transform it into a Hellflame Dragon if Overflow is active for you. Subtle change, the original Dragon Song Flute transformed each card in your hand, and whenever you drew a card, if Overflow is active for you, into Hellflame Dragon. But this change makes it so that after it comes into play, then it transforms. So I'd assume that fanfares and stuff would activate. Still probably just a good meme though. Take a look at some from Spirit 13 here. Alice Wonderland Explorer. I'm not sure Alice really counts as an underplayed legendary, but regardless, the old one gave +1/+1 it used to, and now +0 to all other allied neutral followers in your hand and in play. This new one gives your leader the following effect: all cards in your deck are considered neutral, then choose +1 attack or +1 defense, give it to all allied neutral followers in play and in your hand and deck. What? And then evolve, put a Phantom Cat in your hand, subtract 3 from its cost. Well, you must really like Alice, because this seems a little ridiculous. I'm not so sure about this one, Chief. Dark Angle Lucifer. 8.67. Fanfare, put a Dark Angel Olivia at the end of your turn, restore 4 defense to your leader. And then the evolve is follow or lose play, put a Prince of Darkness into your hand at the end of your turn, deal 4 damage to the enemy leader. So this is really just the same thing, but it gives you an Olivia and a Prince of Darkness, which I appreciate, because I miss those cards and they are never played enough. Although I still think it's just way too slow, especially in Unlimited right now, right? So redoing it in this way with Dark Angle Lucifer here seems a little obtuse. My boy Fafnir, he used to be a staple of Ramp Dragon, man, dealing 2 damage to all other followers. Of course, he's now outshone by everything. Frenzied Drake, Bahamut, you name it. But hey, the remake here from Spirit 13, deal 1 damage to all other allies, then deal X damage to all enemies, X equaling the number of allies damaged. That's actually pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool. So you can get up to 5 damage to all enemies there. And evolve, deal Y damage to an allied follower, Y equals the allied follower's defense, then deal Y damage to a random enemy follower or enemy leader if none are in play. That's awesome! Fafnir is all greedy dragon-like, so he deals damage to all your stuff and then wipes their stuff, and then he's still greedy after that, so then he deals damage to your thing again, and then hits him in the face, and it's a big body to boot. This is like way better, and it still kind of keeps that flavor. Team Omnibus's very own Kirasus, emitting Tsubaki Aspiring Kunoichi, so it's like a smaller version of Tsubaki, with Accelerate 3, destroy a random enemy follower with 5 attack or lower, and Ambush Fanfare, destroy an enemy follower with 5 defense or lower. A lot of versatility in this card compared to the old one, which was just sort of a large expensive body that destroyed big guys. This card actually saw quite a bit of play back in the day, but not so much anymore. Way too slow now. But with this, could be a reasonable tech to remove stuff in Sword. Here comes Groner with an Alexander redo. Alexander the Lone Conqueror. 7.55 Rush. Fanfare, summon an Alexander's Throne if there isn't already an Alexander's Throne in play. Pretty far cry from the original effect of being able to attack 14 times in a turn, but still having Rush because, he's got this Raptor Chariot. He might as well have Rush, right? What does the throne do? At the end of your turn, if there's only 1 allied follower in play, give it a ward and it can't be targeted by spells and effects. If it is a commander follower, it can't be destroyed by spells and effects. If it is an officer, change it to a commander and give it +2 defense. I kind of love this, you know? It's definitely feels like it's designed after Omen of One, because it's made for Highlander, this feels like. It's just absolutely designed for it. Kind of dig this. It's pretty cool. Even though it's a complete redesign from the ground up, basically, of the card. Another Fafnir redo here. Fafnir Devil Soul. Whoa, what the hell happened to Fafnir, man? This is why you shouldn't smoke, kids. Deal 2 damage to all their followers, then give all followers in your hand Storm. Nope. 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 Agent Gaming with a lot of cards here. One of them being Fafnir yet again, the smoker version. 5.34, fanfare, deal 2 damage to all of their followers. Tick, that's exactly what Fafnir used to do, but you know, this time for far less play points, which I enjoy. Gain +1 defense when an enemy follower is destroyed. Gain +1 attack when an allied follower is destroyed. Oh, interesting. I like that. That's a really cool effect. Immune to transformation effect. Yes! Coco, get out of here, man. Not today, man. It's a lot more playable than the old Fafnir, right? Too bad that he had to die and become Red Eye's Black Dragon version of Fafnir in order to be playable. Agent Gaming still has a couple I want to look at here, though. Golden Chronos, 8 play point 3/3, fanfare. Remove all leader effects from both leaders. Reduce both leaders' play point orbs to 3. Banish all other followers and amulets in play and give both leaders 1 evolution orb. He looks like he's straight out of the freaking Alliance, you know? This is such a cool idea. I just feel like it's so strong, especially like imagine you're playing a more attrition-based deck. Say you're playing Haven, or Spartacus Sword in rotation would really benefit from this as well. I feel like the meta would become faster just to play around Golden Chronos, which is kind of scary, but love the idea for sure. And also Stella Star Imposter. Fanfare, your opponent plays their highest cost follower from their hand into play. Banish that follower and put a copy of it on top of both players' decks. I love, love, love this card. You don't really slow them down because they're gonna draw their thing anyway at the start of their turn, but you get it also, which is so fun. I like the fact that you're creating more interesting scenarios here, you know. Cards that have a really wacky effect that, like Shadowverse, is still kind of lacking. Next up, we got Sky Shifter here with a Python redo. Of course, Python before banished all cards that cost 7 play points or less from your deck. This time around, it has Ward, and also banishes from your hand, and all your cards now cost 5 until the end of the game. And on the evolve, you recover 5 play points and draw a card. I think this card makes Python not just a better meme, but straight up a good card. Like, you can build your deck around this guy now, and then you ramp up to this guy. You evolve him if you can, and maybe you get like Ozzy the Hawk off the top, because you can build your deck to have only powerful stuff at the top end then. Or you can get 5 play point Poseidon, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I dig this a lot, actually. It's a different way to play Rat Dragon now. Next up, we got Cinder with a Nephthys redo. I do miss Nephthys. It's Nephthys, but also Jabberwock. Well done. That's pretty good. I like that you added sunglasses here. Nice touch. Mint Candy with put this in vid. Thanks. You're welcome. Rifuki here with a couple cards, but the one I like the most is by far this one. Gabriel Angel of Revelation, 10 play point 10, accelerate 8. Draw 3 cards with a different name and subtract the cost of these cards by half, rounded up. Fanfare, if you have already played at least 20 cards with different names in this whole match, you win the match. I love alternate win condition. And this is a pretty interesting one. Maybe it's conducive to Highlander Haven, maybe, with Miarabane. I know people are trying to design around Miarabane now. Less of a redo and just more of a completely different effect altogether. Of course, the original Gabriel was a 7 play point 3/4 that gave +4/+3 to an allied follower. So not quite the same effect, but I think this one's a lot more cool. So, you know, let's go with this one instead. Rifuki also with this Alexander redesign. Fun fact, this is the only Fate character I like, so appreciate that. Can attack 5 times per turn, rush. Whenever it attacks, gain +1 attack. At the end of your turn, deal X damage to the enemy leader, which is equal to this follower's attack, then remove all effects on this follower. Wow! Well, I appreciate the fact that you're giving, you know, these sword decks that try and control the board and go a bit later a way to win the game, but I'm thinking that maybe 11 damage is a bit much. Of course, against boards that go taller, this is less effective, but still really strong. Ember Naga got an Olivia card, hell yeah! 9 play point 4/4, Dusk Fallen, Archangel Olivia, accelerate 4, recover 1 evolution point. Okay. You can get some utility there. Fanfare, give both leaders the following effect at the start of your turn for 1 evolution point, not snackable. This is your 10th turn or later. Evolve this follower. Last words. Give your leader the following effect whenever you evolve an allied follower. Give it Storm. It's quite a late game card. I'm not so sure it has much use considering the meta is so fast lately, right? But if the meta slows down, this is gonna be a menace for sure. But I just really like the way this is designed. Still keeps the whole evolution thing that Olivia had going on. Gives it a bit more utility, but still changes it up enough that it's a completely different card that I could see in a new set, so love it a lot. Cusco Games got a couple Shadow Legendaries here. Mail of Oblivion, 7.06. Add 0 to this follower's attack, which equals to the number of allied followers destroyed during this match. This follower gains Ward, Bane, and Rush at 5, 7, and 9 attack respectively, and Evolve, that has at least 11 attack, gains Storm. I love this. This seems like it's what should have been in the beginning, right? Like, right now it's just a 7.07 that gains attack based on how much stuff has been destroyed, which is, like, useless. This actually makes it kind of like a neat little card to include in your spam skeleton Shadowcraft deck, right? One thing I want to bring up about Mail of Oblivion is that he kind of reminds me of Colgate toothpaste. Is that just me? He kind of has the Colgate colors, right? He's got the red and the mint green and everything. Am I insane? He's also redesigned Lord of the Flies here into a far better version of Marduk. So it's now a 7.33 that makes it so that when you play a follower, you summon a Virulent Hornet instead. You play a spell, you summon a Vicious Scorpion instead. Play an amulet, you summon a Velocious Beetle instead, until this guy dies, because he's the Lord of the Flies. If he's not around, no flies can be had. Ambush Drain, whereas before it was a 7.44 that would summon one of them, and then at the start of your turn, summon one of them as well. This guy used to be an absolute powerhouse, man, back in the day. 1-2 Dead has a really interesting way to rework Rosetta, which I quite like, and it's very flavorful. It's a choose effect now if you have at least 2 fairies. The one of them being really proactive and aggressive, giving it Rush and transforming your fairies to Thornburst. You also have the choice of getting a really defensive card that has Drain and locks the enemy board. You know how much I love Lock Forest, right? And I just think this is really cool. And plus, sort of plays into the whole duality of the Rose Queen kind of thing. Like in Granblue Fantasy, how she's both, you know, somebody on your crew, but also a primal beast. So, really flavorful and good way to rework the card, I think. Jeremy Yaya 777 with some more Fafnir love. Man, Fafnir, the people love you. They want you to be playable. I do enjoy the idea that Fafnir is the opposite of Waters of the Orca, somehow. Not sure how that works flavor-wise. This seems like it would be a disaster to play now, though, with the omen of Disdain being a huge thing. Like, in the mirror, you do not want to be doing this. But it is a card that gives Fafnir a lot more flexibility, which is something that it sorely lacks right now. Philip with a very simple here. Albert, Sky Knight's commander. I assume this is a commander. Fanfare, mortally wound the enemy leader, can't heal and receives 1 damage at the start of their turn. Evolve, give all followers in your hand a rush. Well, this is really good against Blood nowadays. That would be quite great. Again, not so sure Albert can be countered as an underplayed legendary. He's like the complete opposite. And maybe this was supposed to be targeting Tenko? I did skip a week of CCW after all, so I kind of lost track of the time and the sentiment of the people when they were designing these cards, but yeah, this seems like a cool way to play like an attrition-based Swordcraft deck if that's really your style. I just feel like Swordcraft does desperately need a new way to play. Fausty with a really cool Lucifer redesign here. And some flavor text too. Dig it, man. Dig it. Supreme Primarch Lucifer, 8.67. Invocation at the start of your turn. At least 5 allied legendary followers were destroyed in this match. Put a Supreme Primarch Lucifer from your deck into play. Rush whenever this follower attacks, restore 3 defense to all allies. Evolve, gain Bane. Whenever this follower attacks, deal 3 damage to all enemy. Love it! It's kind of, you know, a different spin on the original Lucifer's effect. This is quite a lot stronger. While I dig it, I'm not so sure, you know, the common player would take too kindly to this invocation effect. Feels like it's solely for the whales, which I'm okay with, clearly. But, you know, might have, you know, a French Revolution kind of thing on our hands if this card gets printed for real. Nobi redesigned Skullfane here. Not so sure why Skullfane himself got downgraded from a legendary to a gold, though. That must be kind of humiliating for him. Freja with a card here. Hi, Igni. Because of you, I became a dragon main. As in, from rank B0 to Masters, use only dragon. Finally, I'm doing some good in the world. Fafnir the Greedy, 6.44 Dragoncraft legendary. Fanfare. Deal 1 damage to all their followers. Give your leader the following effect. If an allied follower comes into play, deal 1 damage to it. If that follower is not destroyed, it gains +1/+1, and then evolve, deal 1 damage to all their followers again. I like the fact that Fafnir is still doing the AoE effect here, but this sees a lot more play, I imagine, because it synergizes really well with the whole Disdain package. You know, you play this, now your Galmio always has a proc, your Apostle of Disdain always has a proc, your Disciple of Disdain probably less happy since it'll just die immediately, but This is really good. Kind of like a De La Fill for this Dane Dragon. Not so sure the archetype needs the support, considering it's so strong. Finally, we got some cards from Pixel Chew HD here. I was bored. So more cards. Fair enough. Silva, Heart of Silver. So it's like a defensive Silva instead of an aggressive Silva. But you know, you can run both of them if they both exist, and that's kind of scary. And again, underplayed legendary. I don't know if Silva really fits the bill, but you know, I appreciate the fact that you did it for the meme. It's good Photoshop. Legendary Fighter Waifu version. Oh boy. 2.22. Whenever another allied follower evolves, give that allied follower the ability to attack 2 times per turn. Whenever you play a spell, give a random enemy follower in play or in hand the effect cannot attack the next turn. Whenever you play an amulet, give a random allied follower Storm. At the start of your turn, gain an extra turn after this one if all 3 effects are proc. Woo! That's kind of awesome. This art, man, I can't believe this is actually official Rage of Bahamut art. What are they doing? What are they doing over there? That's it for this week. Thank you guys so much for submitting. No worries if you didn't make it in. There's always next time. And if you guys want to read all of the submissions, make sure to check out #CCWRedo on Twitter so you can read everything that people made. But you know what time it is. It's the end of the video. So that means we have to do the next challenge. And the challenge after that. And over and over and over. And my life is an infinite hell. This time around, I want you guys to design a 0 play point card. And bonus points if you don't use enhance, okay? Tweet at me with the #CCW0 for a chance to get into the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video if you did. Don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Shadowverse content. Custom card weekly in the very near future. And of course, thank you to my wonderful patrons, patreon.com/Ignideus if you'd like to support the channel as well. I'd highly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.